Celadon friends and family. It is Monday, June 15th. I am down at the shop and I am bringing you an update. We are at the beginning of the week in which Shoreline Public Schools, and I think Seattle too, are wrapping up. So we are also in the beginning of the week in which I will reopen my shop under the modified Phase 1 guidelines. I have received a lot of messages asking questions and trying to get information about booking, and it's been tricky to have all of the answers to that, and this message is a little bit of an explanation about why. And I've been having a lot of feelings about coming back, and I realized that I'm not going to be able to do it until I express some of my concerns to you, so that one, I don't have to do that when you're here in person and be a total bummer during your visit, and also because it's necessary for me to give you these sort of disclaimers before you come in. Because as a cosmetologist, I am trained and licensed in a variety of safety, sanitation, bloodborne pathogen control. I am not trained for airborne virus control. I have received guidelines from the state, and they're a combination of recommended and required actions. And in my industry, people have come down on all different sides, from, you know, fully embracing completely to the letter, to people doing the bare minimum, and to some people still feeling uncomfortable coming back at all and still choosing to wait. All of those are valid responses, and because there's such a variety of responses, I felt like it was necessary to communicate to you as a client that the industry is opening a bit experimentally at this point. We're not 100% sure if all of the requirements that we're going to be following are fully adequate. And it's been something that has been my responsibility and within my ability to give you a guarantee of safety while you're in my shop. And I feel like under this current situation, I feel less able to give you a guarantee of safety in visiting the shop. So I needed to communicate to everybody now that while I think the risk is low to moderate, it does exist. And you know, there is no certification test that we're being given the way we are when we got our initial licenses to make sure that everybody's understanding and implementing these things correctly. So I'm doing my best to educate myself as completely as I can, and I need to make sure that you are all still taking responsibility for educating yourselves on your own risk value, risk assessment and risk level with visiting the shop, and if it's worth the risk to you at this time. It is uncomfortable to me to feel that I might be providing a service that could potentially result in sickness or transmission of something to my clients. It's not, those are not my usual circumstances. It's really uncomfortable to feel that that there's this risk level there, and it's also just physically uncomfortable for me to work under the regulations with the mask and the face shield and the smock and the gloves and the lack of contact. And there's so many things that affect my work, that my regular muscle memory and how I'm able to you know, apply foils or trim your hair, and we're still chatting, and I feel like I'm doing a good job at connecting with you while I'm also doing a good job at your hair. Like, I can't do that right now because I'm fully like engrossed in the safety aspect and in the technical aspect of, you know, trying to do a decent job at my work while I'm having a hard time seeing, and while I'm not necessarily getting enough oxygen, and while I'm like super hot. And there's just in practicing over the last week and a half, I'm finding that it's a real challenge to complete the work, and there's also an element of discomfort around my guarantee to you. So While that sounds like a big bummer, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but it was just really important to me to communicate to you guys that, you know, this is just the first step back, that until we're out of phase 4 or in phase 4 or however that works out, until the regulations have changed and the professional like requirements have changed, I can't consider us back, and I need to make sure that you know that I am operating at a deficiency, and so I will probably be continuing to offer modified services and simple services until we're fully through the reopening phases. It feels like the best choice for me that I'm focusing on basic cuts and maintenance color to get us through. I'm not going to be rethinking somebody's color formula. We're not going to be doing corrective color projects. I'm not going to be doing complicated, you know, 3-4 color projects for anybody right now. I don't physically think I can make it through a 3.5-4 hour service right now in the suit that I'm wearing, and I don't have the creative energy to think through that right now, because all of that creative energy is working on like, how do I follow these rules and make it suck the least for you to be here as I can. I would like you to have a good time. I would like you to enjoy coming in, but that that is not as important as the other aspect of that. So that being said, my schedule has been affected by the lack of childcare that we have. We're being sent to work, but camps aren't in session yet. There's very few camps that are in session, especially if you're not a first responder. They were offered, which is great. First responders were offered priority for summer camp enrollment, and so then it's full. And so, you know, we don't have childcare going at the house, so my availability to even come in is limited. And I guess I just needed to explain to everybody that, you know, that I'm happy to come back. I'm happy to see you, but we're still taking baby steps, and I hope that you can continue to be patient and understanding and also informed and make smart choices for you and your family. And, you know, and we will continue to move forward together. So, all of that being said, I will be updating celadonhair.com with the link to the booking site by Tuesday morning. So by the end of tonight, I have somebody on standby when I get off of making this video. We're gonna go try to hook everything up and make it functional. I've been working on the back end of it, but I haven't launched it yet because, you guys, I had no idea when I was gonna be able to be here. And I had really no idea what all of this was gonna look like. So now that I'm starting to get a general idea, you know, I'm ready to take that next step. So I appreciate your patience and understanding as I work through this at my own pace, and I hope that you understand that the way that I'm doing it and everything that I'm doing, I am doing my best still under these circumstances, and it just feels that my best at this moment is not as good as my best was 6 months ago, but I do expect it to continue to improve. And yeah, I guess that's the message. Feel free to hit me up with your questions again if I haven't answered them, and you know, we expect to see more moving forward. So thank you for your time, and yeah, I hope to see you soon. Okay.